Hey there, Dr. Ahmad Al Hassiny here from the Institute of Digital Dentistry. And in this video, I wanted to cover what is the next big market trend as I'm seeing it in the intraoral scanner market, because I think at the moment we are seeing a huge shift, and to me at least, it's actually very interesting. As I've been involved in digital dentistry for close to a decade now, I've tested every single intraoral scanner, written countless reviews many of you would have seen on the iDD website, and I've been watching this market very closely. Back in 2019, when I first did the iOS scanner review in IDS, which was quite popular, the main differentiating factor was scanning speed, and there was a huge difference between market leaders and other scanners, especially in the time the iOSs that were coming out of China just simply didn't work that well. Nowadays, if you fast forward 5 years, we're in a totally different market because, as you all probably know, scanning speed is definitely not the number one metric anymore that it used to be when comparing scanners, because frankly, most scanners these days are capable of scanning very quickly, especially for basic indications. Sure, when you get into complex scanning such as edentulous or full arch implants, there are some differences, but the number one indication for using an intraoral scanner in dentistry is a single crown. And in my experience, every scanner does well enough when carrying out that basic work. The other significant market trend we have seen over the years is prices going down. Prices have plummeted significantly, as you can now get an intraoral scanner in some regions as cheap as 5,000 USD, which is incredible to think because our first intraoral scanner we purchased back around 2014, something like that, was purchased for over 45,000 USD. And one other significant thing that's happened over those years is subscription costs have been basically removed. Back in 2018, every scanner I can think of had some form of subscription fee. Cert Club, Trios subscriptions, etc. Nowadays, this is not the case as the vast majority of scanners do not have any yearly fees. So what else do we see? Well, one big market trend is wireless technology. And wireless is, to me, an interesting market trend because we are seeing some companies go all in, such as 3Shape with the Trios 5, no backup wires, no wired counterpart scanner, fully wireless. And some other companies like Medit with the i900 have gone a different route, where they, rather than launch a wireless scanner, they've opted for a smaller and lighter weight scanner that are wired. And the same thing for Shining 3D's new Elite scanner. Now, I have no doubt these companies will follow market trends in the future, and they will most likely release wireless counterparts because it does seem to be something that dentists and clinicians want. But to me, wireless doesn't seem to be the next big thing to really change digital dentistry as we know it. To me, the next big technological shift we are seeing now with intraoral scanning is the cloud. And I want to explain and go into a little more detail because I think a lot of people and companies talk about the cloud, but what does that actually mean for you and the implications for your practice? Because that's important. For starters, to me, the shift to cloud is interesting because when I released our IDS scanner review back in 2019, I can't think of a single scanner that even had cloud storage. And now basically every single product involves some sort of cloud storage, at least in some way. So let me break down how intraoral scanner companies are using the cloud, because in my eyes, there's almost like 4 different tiers of using the cloud in digital dentistry. Right at the bottom is no cloud storage at all. And as I mentioned, this is very rare in the intraoral scanner market these days. From memory, basically every single new intraoral scanner uses the cloud in some way or form, from the most expensive on the market to the cheapest and lowest cost as low as 5,000 USD. And the only scanners that I can think of that don't use a cloud is some of the legacy scanners or older models. So then we go to level 1 of using the cloud in digital dentistry. And to me, this is basic cloud integration. This essentially means using cloud storage in some way or form. And every single scanner allows you to, for example, send files via the cloud all within their software. and it will create a special link for you that typically expires, so you can send files easily as you wish. Some scanners, as soon as you finish scanning, will also prompt you to send the files up into the cloud for storage as well, rather than storing them locally. This is all very basic cloud integration and has become the market norm, because then the next level is full cloud integration. And what I mean by that is not just simply uploading to the cloud, but the entire patient list is on the cloud automatically and syncs in real time. And Medit pioneered this very early on, and they did a great job. This sort of cloud integration means that you can access your scans from anywhere. And I know this may not sound like a big deal, guys, but it's actually very beneficial, as it's just handy to be able to open up any internet browser from anywhere and access your scans. For example, you may want to export some scans or review cases, or you just want to be able to download the scanner software on any computer and have a full patient list sync. This is especially useful if you run multiple clinics at different sites like us. And this type of cloud integration is becoming more and more common, as we are seeing the likes of Dentsply Sirona do the same with a full cloud patient management system via DS Core, and of course 3Shape recently announced the Unite Cloud. The fourth level and the next frontier of using the cloud in digital dentistry, and to me the most exciting, is doing more than just patient management and sending scans to the cloud. Let me explain. Two companies have pioneered this, and I believe they have totally shifted digital dentistry forever. These companies being Dentsply Sirona with the PrimeScan 2 and itero with their design suite. Let's start with the PrimeScan 2. This scanner scans directly on the cloud. The software is on DS Core, and everything is done on an internet browser, which when you use it for the first time is quite remarkable. Now, I recorded a whole other video about the PrimeScan 2, so you can check it out where I go over all the pros and cons and some of the challenges that the company will likely face. But overall, it's a really cool product. Now, the other company to use the cloud on a deeper level is Align Technology with their itero design suite, powered by Exocad. What they've essentially done is move CAD onto the cloud. The itero design suite is essentially a basic Exocad software, at this stage at least, that allows you to do crown and bridge, splints, and make models. And it is fully controlled on the cloud via an application. Now, I believe itero will have similar challenges to Dentsply, mainly around internet connectivity, internet speed, etc. But I think it's truly incredible this is the direction the market seems to be going. And I think this is the biggest and next big market shift in digital dentistry. We are going to see more and more companies incorporate the cloud at a deeper level, rather than just patient management. One thing to note, and an interesting result of everything going to the cloud, is monthly fees. So for years, Intraoral scanner users complained about yearly fees on scanners, and the market, for the most part, responded to a no subscription cost model on iOS devices, primarily pushed by Medit in the early days. Well, a side effect of everything going to the cloud is, as we all know, whether you use Google Drive, Dropbox, Microsoft OneDrive, cloud storage is not free. And we are now seeing the resurgence, in one way or another, of monthly fees if you have an Intraoral scanner and you opt to use the cloud. So I guess this is the only way the business model works. It will be interesting to see how users respond. So that is, in my opinion, the next big trend in Intraoral scanning. A move to all software being on the cloud. What are your thoughts? I would love to hear them. Leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.